You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Twisted After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Twisted After Show.
Hello everybody, Bing is for doing, and we're here doing another after show for ABC Family's Twisted Season 1, Episode 10, Poison of Interest. Pay attention, I'm talking. I'm Jason Ikeler, and joining me as always...
I'm Heather Joy Smith.
I'm Lina Green.
And I am the one they make fun of, Stephen Lemieux.
Poor Stephen. Before...
Can we say something
Steven's
about
wearing a jacket.
He's fly tonight.
He's channeling his inner
I
news
missed
anchor.
last week, guys. I missed last week.
He goes from tank top to jacket.
Yeah, he's
Anyways,
making up
I'm
for the
so
tank top.
confused.
before we get into the episode, we want to remind everybody to tweet us your twisted theories, and we'll read them at the end of the show. Kind of a fun thing to do. We've got some from YouTube that we're going to talk about as well.
There are so many theories for this show, too. It's
I know.
crazy.
And everybody's kind of got a valid point. Let's talk about the video, since video phone was playing. So obviously we know from the previous week that Lacey and Danny's little sexcapade was caught on tape.
How far do you think they went? Like,
I think that was probably.
I
You
think
that was
the
it?
it's honestly it. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was it. The over exaggeration of this student.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But when you're in high school, A,
No.
it's scary. B, you're making out with a serial killer, and that's what everybody's afraid of.
Oh, I thought you were finna say when you're in high school, that's all you do is just kiss. I was like, what high school did
I
you go
think
to?
I think that the people were more surprised that it was Lacey and Danny
Yep.
making
Yeah.
out than the actual makeout session.
Yeah.
I think
And I
it was
think-
the two of them.
And I agree, and I think that's why she was more scared. Not that, like, oh, she makes out. But we do find out she's a virgin, right?
Who?
Did I just make this
Lacey?
I don't think we.
I don't think
Oh,
they said
no.
anything about that,
Nobody
Jason.
said
up? Is that a different show? I don't know. I think she is.
I don't know which Twisted you're watching.
Wasn't
but
she?
I don't
Isn't
know.
it? Isn't it just kind of funny how nobody bats an eye when Regina's like, I want to sleep with Danny, and now like Lacey kisses him, and they're all
But
freaking out.
as Karen said, Regina's a whore.
That's
And
true.
Exactly.
I mean, it kind of looked like Regina is kidding when she said she didn't actually do it. And this is Lacey who's protested to Danny the whole time.
I mean,
Yeah.
she didn't really have time to do it.
Yeah. So we find out that it was, in fact, Doug that filmed it, which we got some clues last week because somebody said he was wearing the same shirt.
Yeah, a lot
And
of people
so
called it.
Doug just found this random Danny mask on the side of the house, I guess.
Yeah.
Is what? Do we believe him?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think there's
I
anything
think I
wrong
agree.
with
I
it.
agree.
Yeah.
And he broke the mathlete code of ethics, as Rico said.
Yes.
Poor Rico. He's got to get out of mathletes.
I love the little conversations between him and Lacey. Because it's just funny.
They're
It's
so
just,
I know.
funny, and
Well-
he gets so like nervous around Lacey or something that his words just don't even make any sense. They're just like all jumbled.
Because when we were watching too, we were all kind of shocked. We're like, oh yeah, they've never met.
Yeah.
It's funny 'cause-
so
surprised when you
weird.
think about it, like in this the like second to last episode,
Yeah.
and this is the first time they're actually meeting.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I mean,
Well, it's kind of interesting how we don't even realize it. Like we didn't even know. Like
Yeah.
they pointed it out to us. And I'm like, wait, no, you're right. They haven't met before. But now this is like their episode. They're hanging out all the time. They're like,
okay, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. They're not hanging.
But then, I mean,
mean,
they were
yeah.
together more here now than ever.
Yeah.
And
So
it's-
then he comes back to Lacey and he's like, hey, there's this video going around of you. And she's kind of in shock because obviously that is a little scary to know that somebody filmed you getting it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so pornographic. Like, why that is? She should have told him that she was gonna sue him or something like that.
well, it's
To that
interesting
effect.
that she doesn't care that much. Actually, it's creeped out, but she doesn't care that much. She's like, okay, well, I'll just tell my friends. They'll forgive me, and that's where we get the sleepover with all that. But then it's only when she finds out that Joe is in love with Danny and that Rico tells her that she's like, oh crap, like I don't want this getting out because then it'll hurt Joe.
Well, I feel like she does really care about Joe. And I was actually a little shocked that she didn't already realize Joe was in love with Danny when Rico told her. She was like,
So
what?
oblivious
Yeah.
to that.
So
It was
oblivious.
so apparent.
So is Danny, though.
Yeah.
They both were completely oblivious. And I think that just goes to show how good of a friend Rico really is.
Yeah.
Because he's in love with her. So if he was like a manipulative asshole, he would have been like, hey, Joe, look at this. Watch this. Look what they did.
Check this
you know?
out.
And
Yeah,
I think
he
he
knows.
was trying to be a good friend to Joe by
Yeah.
trying to destroy all the evidence, tell Lacey to get rid of this, telling Nerd Pet Doug to get rid of it. And, you know, I mean, that's a good friend of him to do all of that.
I know. I love Rico.
I think it's interesting how now Joe and Lacey are getting so close now that they're like mad at Danny, and then it goes back and forth with the relationships, and then at the end, I was like, why is Joe doing this confessional? Like, I love you, Lacey, and we're best friends. It was kind of, I don't know, was it weird to y'all? The whole confessional thing. It was like,
I don't think
it's
it
like
was
she
that
knew
weird.
something was on the
Yeah,
uprising.
the show is weird in that the characters are so thick-headed that when you think that, okay, it's pretty obvious that, okay, Joe likes Danny. Lacey saying last episode, I can't believe I gave you and then cutting off and then like being pissed off about that. You'd think Joe's like, oh, they did something.
Honestly, though, I think so much happened in that moment she wasn't analyzing the conversation. She's more in her head like, I can't believe he's been lying to me this whole time.
I know, but the way it's written, it makes the audience feel like the characters know, and then it has scenes where they say stuff like when Joe says, if I was ever gonna date Danny, I would tell you before.
That's what I was saying.
It's
It
just
was
like,
so abrupt, and
Yeah.
it was like maybe she already knew, and she's trying to just get this out. Like
it comes off,
coaxing.
makes
She
her look
wants
like
to
such a
say,
bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I feel like it was just a setup to make you feel even more bad for her at the end when she finally does see the video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
it
think
probably
she even
was
knew.
a setup, but just the way they did it.
It feels
I
like
don't
a
think-
low blow. It doesn't feel like a setup. The way they
I
did
don't
it.
think Joe ever has like bitchy intentions though.
I don't know about that. There's some moments where
I said the B word a lot this episode.
You did. I just said it.
Are you talking about
2
during
seconds
like
ago.
watching it?
Yeah, watching it, I was like, that bitch. Like,
Pausing it.
there
all
was a
the way.
lot of it in this episode.
There
Miss
was.
Crane, Sarita, like
my God.
everyone.
Hold
Oh,
on.
we saw the
Can
nice
we
side of
real,
Sarita.
real talk about Sarita, though. She cracked a smile, you guys.
She was so nice.
Oh
She's
my
like,
God.
I think she knew there was something going. Obviously, she knows there's something going on with her and Danny because she was way too nice. She's like, "We'll be your friend no matter what."
I don't think she knew,
right.
but I
can read
didn't.
right through you.
But her face when she saw the video, I don't think she had a
Yeah.
clue.
Yeah.
I mean, she was so shocked.
She really was.
But don't you think she knew? Because even remember at the cemetery, she's like, "Where were you?" And Lacey ran off with Danny. She's
I
got
think
to
she
know.
thought maybe they were being
They were
friendly.
friends, yeah. She doesn't want them
not
being
like
friends.
Not the-
together.
Not
Yeah.
below the belt.
No.
Friendly.
Don't take it there.
Hashtag below the belt. There we go.
Man, I wanted the hashtag.
Oh, you
Okay.
can maybe if you're good.
Next time. Next time, go
We
ahead.
always have hashtag
So
Twisted.
before we talk about the actual trial, we want to remind everybody to go to serialbuddies.com. Steven, stop mocking me. And there are links to download Serial Buddies on iTunes and Amazon, and it costs $4.99, and it's got tons of great people in it. Maria Menounos, Beth Bears from Two Broke Girls, Artie Lang, and
Happy
all of the
Griffin.
money goes back into AfterBuzz so we can give you these podcasts for free.
Woohoo.
So if you've listened to us, you know all about Serial Buddies, but check it out if this is your first time.
Also, we love the YouTube comments. Keep them
Yes.
coming,
Yes.
guys, especially with the new Twisted Theories panel we're doing. Thanks to Jason, Heather, and Lina.
It's like, what?
Introducing that while I was here.
Sorry you had to
Sneaking
leave
it-
us, Steven.
Sneaking it under hashtag under the belt. And then, also, if you're going to YouTube and commenting, please go to iTunes and rate and comment there because that helps us out so much knowing that you guys are downloading the podcast and talking about it because that, I don't know, we love you for that.
Great ending.
Heartfelt
Love you
moment.
all.
I don't know.
So-
we love you for that.
Speaking of not love, Danny doesn't get any of it this episode. So the coach we find out at the beginning, I was trying to transition and it did not work.
Segue failed.
The
Wah,
coach
wah.
at the beginning we find out was fired for the whole cover up with the mothballs and all that poisoning thing. And he kind of hits Danny below the belt a little bit, I feel like, when they meet outside of the school.
I mean, I think he was being real. It was like, I tried to, help you out. I lost my job.
But I feel
Sucks.
like it's his fault if he would have gone about it the right way. I mean, I guess everything in this town is kind of messed up. But I don't feel like Danny should be blamed because
What-
Danny's not the one that poisoned the guy.
What could he have done? Because if he had said anything, I mean, everybody's gonna blame it on Danny. There's no what right way could.
But even if he went to the principal at that point, we found out the principal was banging Danny's mom the whole time.
No, I
So-
don't even think they
No,
banged.
they didn't say anything about it.
just some
Just
hair.
brushing-
Sexted.
just
her hair.
yeah,
Sent pictures.
infatuation.
And
Hair.
spread eagle on the
You just
desk.
everybody's
No.
banging in your mind.
I
didn't-
know.
It's
I
because they really are, but it's ABC Family.
but then Lacey's
so
a,
it's
a
more
virgin.
implied.
So it's like, what?
I swear that came from somewhere.
I didn't think the coach was too wrong in what he said. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean,
No?
dude just lost his job.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just poor circumstances, and it's just like I'd be in a pretty crappy mood after that too. I mean, I'm trying to help some kid out because I don't really think he did this thing, and then I lose my job over trying to do the right thing. It's
Yeah, but
crappy
I think that's
circumstances.
part of doing the right thing. Like you can't be like, "Damn it, I should have really screwed that kid over."
I know, but he lost his job. You're like,
Yeah.
this is
I'm
still
sure
like a
he was
human.
like sad because he
He'll
lost his
get
job. And this
unemployment.
was,
if you're helping someone across the street and you get hit by a car and your leg breaks, you have the right to be a little bit snappy with them, just a little bit. All right.
good point.
All right.
So then there's this whole weird thing going on with Joe and her parents because in the past episodes, obviously we've seen like Kyle and Tess being like, "No, Joe, stay away from Danny," and now Joe is like, "I can't believe Danny did this and lied to me," and Kyle and Tess are kind of trying to stand up for her.
Yeah, I love this seeing Cal. Like,
I'm
so-
really
I
on
love
Team
it.
Kyle lately.
Yeah.
He's so fair now. It's like I'm gonna give this boy a chance. He's not saying he didn't do it. He's not saying he did do it.
Uh-huh.
And I like that fairness now.
Yes.
So
And I feel like he hasn't, obviously, in the beginning, he wasn't fair
Yeah,
and equal.
it
He
was-
was snooping around, and I don't know, I feel like Kyle's really grown up.
Well, it's because he didn't have any evidence. He had little pieces of evidence, and they all pointed at Danny, and then everything else was circumstantial that pointed at Danny. It's like, okay, well, this is the only lead I have.
Yeah.
Let's go after this kid. But now it's, oh, okay, I can actually do detective work because I have evidence, and these people aren't hiding thousands of dollars in envelopes with threats in them from me. So maybe I can do my job without them screwing me over.
Valid.
Except for one thing now is we have Marilyn Rossi, who was introduced, the new detective. And her first things that kind of came out of her mouth was, like, show me all the evidence you have on Danny Desai. Like,
yeah.
doing this. And I think Chief Masterson was not really pleased with the way that came out because his face was like, wait, we're trying to give him, like, the benefit of the doubt right now.
I think she's
Yeah.
working for the mayor.
I think so,
it's like
too.
going to be a cover-up thing.
Yeah.
They didn't even try to hide the fact she's working for the mayor.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
from a private group.
Yes.
She's a private detective. The mayor pays her paychecks, not the state. So of course she's going
Well,
to do whatever he says.
And I find it very interesting that the mayor obviously I think the mayor's involved through all of
Yeah.
this, and I think he's bringing her in to cover somebody up.
That's what I'm
Cover
thinking, too.
himself.
Because
Cover
when Kyle-
himself up.
Because
and-
when Kyle went to him and he's like, "Hey, all of these documents in Connecticut are missing. We've got to do something about it." He's like, "Oh yeah, right. That doesn't."
He's over shoving
you know?
food in his mouth
And I
and
think
trying
Danny is his perfect scapegoat for whatever he did or
Yeah.
however he was involved. And so I think this is his way of going. He has to go above Kyle because now Kyle's onto it. So that's why he brings Marilyn in.
Which is unfortunate, this grown man, like, putting all this on a child. Like,
Exactly. It's just so wrong.
it's unfortunate, but
What's-
we'll see.
It's kind of what the whole town's done to him, though, since he moved back.
I don't know. What he moved
His
back.
teachers have done it. His, friends have done it. The mayor, the police, Kyle did it at first.
I kind of feel like at this point, Karen should, in her mind, she should be saying, you know what? All of this is not worth this house. Let's get the heck out of here, you know?
Yeah.
well, he can't
Because
leave
he's
now.
getting prosecuted now. Like, this could end him back in jail.
Yeah, can he legally leave?
I don't think so.
Before this happened, could he have legal? I think.
I think.
I mean, they haven't charged him with anything, right?
I mean,
what
but
I'm
did he get out
He-
scotch-free from the first thing, or is he like, you
I
know what I
think
mean?
it's-
You know how
Like, is
sometimes
he
you
on
get out of
probation or something?
Yeah.
He's
no.
on probation. Yeah.
Oh, he is.
But
So
he
might
didn't
not
have to
be
go
able
there.
to, but he might
Yeah.
not be able to leave the area.
Now he
Without
can.
his mom.
Yeah.
But she'd have to sell the house, and he'd have to transfer to another school. And now with all these things, he's violating his probation. I believe that's how it is. But what I was actually thinking about in this storyline, or this whole story of Twisted itself, is like the stories where people do something wrong and they set someone up as a scapegoat, and then it's like a no-win story. Like the bad guy wins in a way.
Yeah.
This seems like Danny was set up in one of those stories, and there's like all this beforehand, and now this begins 5 years later as Danny gets out after knowing he's been the scapegoat, and now we just have to figure out what Danny's trying to uncover now.
But Danny knows something of it. Like, if he didn't kill, he knows something. So he's kind of the missing link. I feel like he's kind of bringing himself down. If he doesn't tell what really happened, no one can help him but himself.
Well, we found out it has to do with City Hall and something about building at City Hall.
But do you think Danny knows about that too? Because I think obviously Danny's covering something up. He's said it. But we think he knows about all the stuff that his dad was involved in?
I don't think he knows
about it.
because I think he was still in juvie when all of this was going down. So I don't think he knows.
Yeah.
When did the dad die incongruent to when he went to jail?
It was at the
A few
end of
months.
jail.
Yeah, like a few months before he got out.
Huh.
I think Danny knew more than we think.
Well, and if Regina's really having an affair with Vikram,
I don't
obviously
think
he
it's
had
Vikram
to...
she's having an affair. I think it's the mayor.
Oh, you think Regina's having an affair with the mayor?
It has to be. There's a lot of cover up with him. And
Maybe
Vikram,
she's a little town whore.
from the past
Maybe
things,
both.
Vikram didn't
Yeah.
seem like the type. Did he? Like, from the flashback, he seemed like a nice guy.
Hypothetically, if Vikram is dead and the mayor was the one who killed him for finding out about Marna Industries, the mayor would know about the Connecticut apartment and be able to send things from
Do
that.
we think this is a little too scandalous for ABC Family, though?
No.
I think it's a.
You don't?
No.
I think it's a lot
I guess not.
going on.
Pretty Little Liars.
Pretty Little Liars. I always go back to that. I mean, they're way more scandalous.
I mean, because that was their first, like, pushing the envelope
Yeah.
show.
And now
So-
they're just. I
And
think
now
they're
they have
really
this
pushing
with the
it.
Yeah,
viewer
I
discretion
agree.
in the front.
Did they do this
Valid.
on this show?
So-
Does this show have viewer
Yeah, it does.
discretion?
Yeah,
It does?
and Pretty
It
Little
does.
Liars doesn't.
So I also got to point this out. I mean, are we getting into Marna Industries at all yet, or can I throw that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we're
talking
talking about Kyle and the mayor now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing
Okay.
the trial.
So you got to imagine Tara. Tara is a writer, and we don't really know if she's really a writer. And that's what I kind of got out of this episode for the sole fact that she's wearing the necklace. It's her necklace. And Marna Industries is the necklace. Like, the symbol for that is the necklace. It's not something that some lower person or someone who didn't have anything to do with it, they wouldn't have the symbol for the company. So I really think she was very involved with the company with Vikram, and I think Vikram was maybe laundering money, cheating the system, doing something illegal, and somebody found, and Tara was going to report him.
I kind of feel like Vikram is going to be the good guy at the end of this, and the mayor's going to be the bad guy, and something's going to be like a setup. I feel like the sides are going to be like the good people.
I don't think it's going to be just the mayor. I think there's so many people involved, and I think Vikram's one of them.
Nothing's going to be black and
Because
white.
why else would he have Karen covering for him in Connecticut, too? Because remember that flashback?
What
So
does Karen
something's
know?
going
What
on there.
Karen acts so aloof. Like, what?
I think she knows a lot.
Yeah.
And we know she's not afraid to lie and cover things up.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Shady.
I just.
Shady.
I feel like they should play up her character more and like have her be more vocal about, like, smarter, I guess.
I think that's probably. I think they're intentionally doing this though, because you don't know if she's just like the housewife or if she really is covering up all these scandals.
I gotta say, this might be more in the theories realm, but I believe that now that we know Marna Industries is a building company, I believe there's a reason that she didn't sell the house. Because when he looked at the website with houses and things, it looked like Danny's house.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
Interesting.
So I believe that there's something that has to do with that house. I believe the blueprints or something.
Or something's underneath it, like a treasure. I'm sorry.
Vikram's living in the basement
Okay.
playing World of Warcraft.
That was a very Steven joke of you to make.
I've been looking at
You're
too many
rubbing
of
off
those
on her,
movies.
Steven.
I'm sorry about that. The proximity of being next to him.
Anyways, let's talk about the trial now. So Karen and Danny have to go on a meeting with the school, and they think it's just with Principal Wang. Is it Wang?
Tang. You always say Wang.
Wang.
and I'm
Oh,
like,
it's because we saw his Wang.
we
Anyways,
didn't see anything.
it was covered by the little sign.
It was a very
He
little
wasn't
sign.
naked
It was a
though.
little sign. He was underneath it.
He had boxers on or some
No, he
briefs.
doesn't.
Okay.
Jason,
You
use
didn't-
your
I wasn't
imagination.
looking.
You didn't watch the online
You know,
edition.
this is really the important part about this trial,
I
is
know.
talking about whether we saw Wang's Wang or not. So let's go ahead and get
Pang's
into
Wang.
the
It is a valid fact. Tweet us what you think.
hashtag Pang's Wang. All right, let's get into the
anyways, yeah.
trial.
Moving on.
So the school board is going to expel him, and they say that it's because he missed one of his counseling sessions when he was at the town fair or whatever that was.
And the counselor said it was
Yeah.
fine, but they said
And now
She
this is
can't
happening
make
like
that
2 weeks
decision.
after that happened
Yeah.
because obviously the coach got fired, which again sucks for Danny because anything, they're looking for ways to prove he's guilty. in there kind of like waiting for something to happen, and this was it. So this is their way to get him out.
Is there no other school in this town?
There must not be.
Well, it's small. I only had one school in the town I
Really?
grew up in. Yeah.
I'm
For
like,
people to care that much about soccer,
I mean,
Yeah.
the way
it's funny
they're
how they
making
make
it
soccer
seem
the
like
main.
they make it seem like there's only one school, because otherwise,
Yeah.
why wouldn't have they put him somewhere
Yeah.
else?
Yeah.
I think I mean I think that's pretty common of a small town to only have one high school.
I just feel bad that anything that happens, the blame is going to be placed on Danny, no
Yeah.
matter what.
seriously, like
Anything.
a girl dies and they think it's the guy who killed someone 5 years ago who just got out of jail.
Maybe
Yeah.
because nobody else has killed anyone in the town.
Exactly. So
Allegedly.
basically, they agree because of Principal Lang.
Tang.
Tang, Jesus. I don't know what his name is. They agree. I was really trying hard that time too. They agree to set up like a trial. And so
hearing.
a hearing, a trial. We'll call it a trial.
Just-
It's like a trial. Just leave me alone.
All right.
So
Hey.
Danny can have people speak on his behalf, and then the school board can have people speak on their behalf. So Danny at first goes to Cole because him and Cole were friends, and Cole is against it now at this point.
Which I will agree that Cole does look like Tom Cruise.
All right.
Yeah,
Finally,
this episode he really looked like Tom
It's just his
Cruise.
mannerism.
from
and
the
maybe
beginning,
that.
guys, I told you Tom Cruise and then Joaquin Phoenix. We got an
I
A
don't
list
agree with
cast on this
Joaquin
show.
Phoenix. Look at Jason. He's like, okay, back to the.
I know, God.
I'm
If I
sorry.
can't talk about the Wang, you can't talk about Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Rules
Wang,
of the
Wang.
panel.
Alright.
Anyways, so Joe goes to Tyler because Tyler's got this documentary and he killed it. And he's telling her that nobody's going to say anything nice about Danny. He was making this documentary and it was hard to get anybody to.
Which is nice of Tyler. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's nice that he came and approached Joe in the before, and he was like, I'm sorry about that. Can we at least be friends? And it's nice that Tyler's willing to help. He's like so the middleman in all this. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't have any bias.
We
views.
definitely saw him in a
I mean-
better light this episode
Yeah,
Than last.
than last.
I'm very happy that
Me
they made him the
too.
good guy.
But honestly, even
Yay,
if he is,
Tyler.
if you look at it from like a completely outsider's perspective, he's not that bad of a kid if he's trying to make a documentary on a murderer. Like, it's just an interesting artsy filmmaker type kid. I don't think he's, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think
You think he's not gonna end the?
I think if
documentary,
we were
right?
all in the high
I don't
school,
think he's
we'd
ending
all
the
be afraid of
documentary.
Danny too.
I don't think
just
I
probably
would.
curious.
I don't. I think I wouldn't judge someone after what they did like 5 years ago and they were a kid.
I think you would.
I think I wouldn't.
Okay.
Well, you're wrong.
Okay, I don't disagree with him making the documentary, but it is a little bit dickish to put people in masks
Yeah.
and
But do we
harass
think
people.
do we
was
think
a
that
little
was Tyler? Did he
He
kind
said
of
no.
admit
He
to
said
it?
yeah.
he
I think
admitted
he-
to it at the party, and I don't think two separate entities made masks of Danny and harassed him.
That's
No, he
valid.
admitted it. And when she goes, "How about the mask?" He was like, that was wrong. He didn't
Yeah.
say he didn't do it. So yeah.
Well, and even Joe says, I don't think he should. I don't trust Danny, but I don't think he should be expelled for something he didn't do.
yeah.
And that's, I don't know. I think that just shows Joe really is a good person.
Yeah.
She's a good judge of character.
So they find the video of Cole talking about how Danny's such a great guy, he could never poison him, blah 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 blah, and then they go confront Cole to see
Yep.
if he'll talk at the place.
And then again, you see Danny, and I don't know. Like you gain a lot of respect for Danny in this episode, don't you?
Manipulative.
No, I still think
Manipulative.
Yeah. I was thinking
You
he's
think?
very manipulative. Yeah.
I feel
And
like he has something
It's
still going on.
reverse
in his head.
psychology.
Yeah.
I feel like
I thought he was just being nice.
He gave it up too easily.
to me, you're from a small town. Stop. You're from a small town, right, Jason? Like,
Yes.
is that the mentality? Like, my friends, like, all this is going down. People are dying, and people are so concerned about friends not liking them or being kicked out the popular.
I think
like,
it
people
is.
are dying, and it seems like it doesn't matter as long as my friends like me. Like,
I think
with
that's kind of true
Cole-
though, but I don't think because when we're watching the show, we're seeing everybody's perspective.
Yeah.
And people aren't seeing when they think they're just assuming, well, this guy killed his aunt, then he killed Regina, so yes, he probably poisoned this guy in the soccer team. It's very believable if you're not watching Danny and his life and everything that's happening.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
You know,
I guess.
not that it's right, but it's. I really think in that situation, and that's why everybody in the town is like, as long as my friends like me, because I think you would just assume that's what happened.
I would say the only real thing that's like the most unbelievable thing about this show, and this isn't like being very critical, it's just a town even of that size, Danny would not be the only bad apple. like Danny would not be the only one who's doing bad stuff. Like there'd be the high school kids doing drugs around the corner. There'd be the people hooking up on the daily.
Yeah, but there's
like,
a difference between drugs and murder.
no, but I mean, there's
I think that's the biggest news in the town.
Yeah.
is
But
murder.
poisoning like that.
Drugs aren't going to be on
See,
the
I think that's
news.
very realistic, actually.
Really?
In a small town, if somebody killed someone, that's not something people are just going to forget about. It's not like
No.
it's a big city where crime happens every day, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
In the big city
Yeah.
where crime
Big
happens
city.
every
But then
day.
there's been so many people that's died. It's like, are y'all used to it now?
Well,
So many people have died.
So many
I can
bodies.
count them on one hand.
oh my god. So Tess tries to go out of her way to talk to Regina's mom, thinking like maybe Gloria will have a change of heart or something, or understand Karen's perspective.
cold.
And Gloria is a horrible, horrible person.
Yeah, she's totally
I
terrible.
mean, you got to feel for her. Her daughter
Nope.
is dead.
Her
Nice.
daughter's
Still so rude.
yes, her daughter's dead, but she has no proof Danny did it either.
She doesn't. But think if you're a parent, this is her only daughter.
I gotta love
Her
how
only
you
daughter?
how you say her daughter's dead, but then as soon during the courtroom, just like us, you were like, yeah, call her a whore. Yeah.
I mean, she was a whore.
Yeah.
Fact is a
But,
fact.
yeah.
She was a whore. But that's no reason. This woman's still hurting. They need to give her like time. Like it's like people are just coming at and there's all this stuff happening. Give her some time.
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
but she's on the board too, so
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
putting
Yeah.
I do
herself
think that's
right in the
unbiased.
middle of this.
Exactly. If
So
she
biased.
was really
Yeah.
grieving, she would stay home and be sad, but she's
Exactly.
trying to ruin this kid's life.
Maybe she has something to do with it too. Maybe
Maybe she killed her. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
my God. This has
Hey.
to be the most. Had to be the most realistic version of the school system of public school systems, though, because it's really like that. They don't really understand bias.
Yeah.
Like the teachers going up and talking about Danny.
Yeah, why
you
that
made
was
my
so
life
ri-
stressful.
That was ridiculous.
Having someone so close to it go up and be on the
Yeah.
head of the board to
Yeah.
decide, that is my experience with public school. Like people, they don't understand. They think that everything's handy dandy.
I love how Tess was just so like cool about it.
I know, and I
Yeah.
love that Tess
love it.
spoke at the
Called her
trial.
out.
Yeah.
You told me that Danny, you wanted
Deserved
to
to-
get him out of here.
And then
That
Karen
wasn't-
stands up. Regina's a whore.
Boy, that did not make
That was
sense.
my favorite part of the whole episode.
And then when she sits back down when Danny gets her and she's like, no, I'm okay. Like,
So then Archie was the first to speak at the trial. And I hate Archie. What did he say? That look in his eyes when he punched me.
I still think about it today.
when Archie
was
has
so
that
fake.
weird look in his eyes, like he's crazy.
Well, and then I wasn't sure because the way Archie was saying, like, I feel bad for the kid. Part of me thought maybe he was going to say
Yeah,
that in
that's
his
what I
speech to
thought.
cover up for himself even
Yeah.
more.
I
if he
thought
did
he
poison
was gonna
Cole.
just be like, I thought he was gonna just say something nice and really mean it, like
Archie? Oh, I didn't think he would mean it if he
Oh,
said
God,
something
no.
nice.
no.
I
No.
thought Cole
I-
would
I
say
have
something
this-
a little nicer.
Yeah.
I thought he would have a change of heart.
He was being political too.
He
He was
was.
very careful with the words he said.
Yeah, but it was a
Yeah.
good speech from Cole. That
I
was,
just-
Yeah.
He said he's a good guy, he just doesn't know.
I did like the balance of power fight that they had of going from last episode to this episode between Danny and the principal.
Yeah.
Because Danny tries to coerce the principal into like helping him out
Yep.
because of the
Well,
pictures, but
I
then
was-
the principal throws back, well, I covered for you with the poison, and now the poison's in the air, so Danny's like, hey.
Now what?
I need your back.
And I was actually kind of surprised the principal didn't talk at this hearing.
Me too.
But who's he gonna speak? He can't speak against Danny, and then he
No,
can't
but he could speak.
for.
No, I thought he would speak for
You
him,
didn't-
or because if I was Karen and Danny, I would have been like, "Hey,
Well, Karen didn't
Your
get to
wife
speak
wanna see
either.
these pictures?
Isn't that why wouldn't they let Karen? I know that's the mother, but
well, I was gonna say because it's biased, but obviously that's
all
not
this,
a factor."
yeah, it's not a
Yeah.
factor. Clearly,
Well, at the same time, don't you think they might kick Danny out of school just for the fact that he's only there because his mom was fraternizing?
But I don't
nobody
think
knows
they know
about
that, yeah.
Nobody knows about.
I know, but if they did, if that came out in the open, don't you think that would only add fuel to the fire to get Danny
Totally.
out of the
Yeah.
school?
I feel like Kyle's gonna use that to his advantage
No,
in the future.
I feel like Cal's totally gonna be more straight arrowed.
See, I think he's gonna be fighting for Danny, but I think when he finds stuff out at the school, I don't know. I feel like because Kyle knows about that, and I don't think that's just gonna slide by.
I think Kyle's gonna have his own problems with this new private
Yeah.
investigator.
Yeah.
Which I don't like them adding this. First,
I don't either.
it's too. Yeah, it's too much. I feel like she's gonna.
She's gonna be
end up-
such drama.
And she's so.
Yeah, but I
extra.
think if they didn't add her, Kyle would solve this very relatively quickly, so they've got to throw something into the mix.
The writers are writing. They're like,
Yeah.
give him a reason to hate.
I know, sucker.
Let's add this character. Everyone will hate her.
Yep.
Yes.
So Joe finally goes up to speak, which was kind of cool that she decided to speak for him. And then poor thing,
I cried. I
just
couldn't
comes
watch
out
that.
like word vomit. And she's like, I'm falling for, I mean.
He has to be the
yes.
good guy.
Oh.
I like how they coerce her and they're like, what do you mean, Joe?
I
How
know.
do you
Tell us what
feel?
you mean. How do you feel? And she's getting so emotional. I'm crying over it. I don't know if y'all saw that tear. I
Lena
was
had to get up
crying.
and walk
It
out of the
was
room
a
for a
lot of her
second.
emotion.
Well,
Yeah, you stood up and
And-
walked away.
I
had
Like,
to.
whoa.
I was shocked by the fact that Danny was so shocked. You know what I mean? Like
I feel like Danny knew, and now he's trying to act like, oh, I don't know.
No, he didn't know, apparently. He didn't know it was that deep, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he
That
probably thought it was
deep.
like a friendship
Well, he's
crush.
probably like, I'm super hot. Everybody has a little bit of a crush.
Yeah, and
on me."
you know how he kept saying to Joe before he even said it the last time, like, our relationship is special to me. He kept re-saying that to her to get her to get that.
I think
this
my-
is just a friendship.
Yeah.
My note there was the ultimate friend zone.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
you kept
That's
yelling
the
that.
worst.
You yelled that throughout the whole thing.
I know. You guys couldn't get me to shut up. I'm sorry.
We never can. So, anyways, it kind of ends with the video, which we already talked about.
The video.
And Danny's expelled, obviously.
Well,
Poor
they
thing.
tell him he's going to be expelled, but he's not expelled yet.
You think he's
Sure.
gonna be expelled? You think something's gonna come up where it's like,
He's unexpelled.
so I think they're gonna find out that it wasn't him, and it's gonna probably be some random person who did it, who
I
who
think
poisoned.
I don't think it's gonna be a random.
I love how they showed how the video was spread, though. 'Cause
Maybe it was Sarita.
No,
no, it wasn't
No.
Sarita. It was Eloise. We know it was
yeah.
Eloise.
No, I
No,
mean
the
who poisoned?
mothballs?
Who poisoned?
Why was
Oh.
Sarita
That's
poison
just kinda
Cole?
weird,
That's
yeah.
she doesn't know him at all.
I think
Because she doesn't like Danny, and maybe she
after
knew him and
tonight,
Danny
it
were
was
freaking
Archie,
hooking
because
up.
Archie's plan was to get him kicked out, and then he didn't get kicked out, so he plays it a different way, and now this is him getting kicked out.
Okay.
But like they do, oh, Phoebe sees it, then Tyler, then Archie, then the whole team, then random extras.
Yeah.
You know what? It'll be funny if they have some janitor come in like, oh, I threw those mothballs in there, and they find out that Cole just got sick from some like food poisoning.
Yeah.
And it's like, really?
That's a very
What's all this?
that's a very Disney ending. Everything's okay and everyone's
I
really
just
nice.
gave you a look inside my
Aunt
head.
Tara walks in, kidding. You
I'm
got
still
punked.
here.
Vikram and
Hello.
Regina, they skip in. Hi. We're not
Vikram
there.
comes in with his Mai Tai.
Oh my god. Let's talk about some of these twisted theories, guys.
My ties.
I will read some.
Ooh.
Yes.
I like.
Love.
Okay, there was one from Caitlin. She called it about Doug being the one videotaping the whole sexapade.
Sexcapade. Okay, we have one from Raven Still. I'm just going to spell your last name. Beguiling. And she says, for the finale, I think Vikram's fine ass will be revealed to be alive, or at least the possibility of it. I'm sure there will be many new questions, but they also have to reveal something big to get people to tune in January. I agree. I think that's valid. Vikram will be alive.
Okay.
Anyone else got one?
Yeah, I got one from Nicole. She thinks that Gloria, who is Gloria?
That's Regina's mom.
Yeah, Regina's mom.
Gloria is up to something and she knows something about the case or something.
Oh, and she's trying to cover up
I think
for
that's like
Regina.
I just
feel like that's
feel
valid.
like because she's so angry and it's not mourning, it's more like anger and revenge and something else mixed in with her.
Okay, I got one here from Janice Davenport. She said that she thinks the mayor killed Regina because he seemed like he was hiding something, which
Yeah, I agree.
we totally agree with.
I don't know if he killed her, but I think he's involved in it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any others?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
Some of them are one.
But yeah, I don't know. I said my theories earlier, didn't I?
Okay,
Yeah.
here's one more from Janice too. She says, this may sound a little far-fetched, but I think maybe Gloria was the one who poisoned Cole because she seemed really determined to get Danny expelled from school from the beginning.
I don't know if that's true, but I like it.
I like it.
I really like it.
I do like that a
I
lot.
don't know. The girls can't even go into the guys' locker room, so it's like a
Oh,
little...
but she's
Well,
part of the
I
school
feel like
board.
if you're
She can do
I feel
whatever.
like if you're poisoning somebody, that's not really going to be the
Yeah.
the thing that stops
shouldn't
you.
go
Oh, I can't go in there.
Do you
It's not allowed.
Damn it.
Do you think Karen's really Danny's mom?
That's
A
been
lot
a
of
couple
people
people have
said
talked
that.
Yeah,
about
we've
that on
talked
YouTube.
about it a few times.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah.
Because Karen, it just kind of seems weird. Like the relationship, especially 2 episodes ago was really stressed in that aspect of, oh, you don't really love me, Mom, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't really resemble her that much.
Maybe the Aunt Tara.
And Aunt Tara could have been...
Oh, the real
and
mom.
then Vikram adopted him.
I don't know.
I think Vikram is his dad.
Well, Vikram's his dad. Or maybe. You don't even know.
I don't
We don't know.
I don't know if... Because there hasn't really been any sort of like juicy drama
I don't
that
think...
way yet.
I don't think that the kid who played Danny in the past is really Yvonne Joja.
Let's get into some news and
I
gossip.
just shoved this in my
AfterBuzz TV News.
So, Yvonne Joja and Joe...
Maddie.
Maddie,
Maddie's-
her real name, did not win their Teen Choice Awards this past Sunday.
Yeah,
but they still thanked everybody for the votes, and they're honored just to be nominated. Wah, wah. But I did read this article about the Teen Choice Awards that if you pause the credits, it says the producers of this show have the right to choose the winner from the top 4. There's only 4 people in each category. So really your votes don't count.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a
Does it really
scam.
say?
I know.
You're going to get a note from
You
them
just
tomorrow.
told like Santa, you basically told all their fans that Santa doesn't exist just now.
But it's kind of true because if you watch those awards, it's like Ben Affleck's nominated and then Zac Efron wins. Like it's very whoever shows up to the awards gets it.
You think so?
Yeah.
But I think
They don't.
I
they
think
don't
the
pick a-
show
if
actually
you-
still appreciates all the tweets and Facebook posts saying to vote for them.
Oh yeah. But I think even if you perform at the Teen Choice Awards, you win.
I think if it's influenced by the votes, though.
Sorry.
I think
So
there's an
sad.
Sorry to break it.
I
Yeah.
think
It's
there's an
like
influence
finding
in
out
there.
about Santa.
I found out about that long time ago.
Long time ago. Anyways, anyone else have any more positive news and gossip?
I mean, I saw Yvonne
sad.
Joja a few days ago.
Oh yeah, tell us about this, Stephen.
I don't know. I was at a bar. You walked in. And
Two guys at a bar.
Is this a joke?
No.
I imagine seeing him at a bar, he like whips his ponytail out. and
Our
shakes
producer
his head back
Marissa
and
was
forth.
there to
Yeah,
vouch for
back
me.
and
He was there in the
Marissa?
flesh.
Definitely
Wa-
there, yeah.
Was he hot?
Ooh, you saw him too.
You saw him too?
Yeah, I saw him, but I'm not sure about hot.
Ah,
That's just my personal opinion.
He's hot.
Well,
That's so
for the
hot.
fans that are wondering, he was rocking a white suit, really long ass hair, and a beard. There you
yum.
He's starting to look older.
Was
I wonder
Tyler
how.
there?
go. He looks a lot older in person.
Yeah, like I
Valid.
saw some new pictures and stuff. He's starting to look really older. Is
He's
he?
a man now.
He's on high
Let's
school.
Man child.
let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Heyo.
Steven, you go first.
Dude, I can't even formulate my predictions. I don't think Karen killed Regina. Just kidding. Okay,
goodness.
I definitely think the mayor is involved somehow. I believe that the building, I keep forgetting Marna, is it? I think Tara was really, really, really involved in Marna. Like she was the founder of it. And maybe you're right, Vic is not the good guy we know. I believe that Vic might have been skimming money off the top from the business, and Karen knew, and Tara probably didn't even know about the apartment in Connecticut. And I believe that Danny had to kill Tara because Vikram made him.
Huh.
It's a lot.
It is.
I think that Eloise was probably the one that poisoned Cole. Because you remember how Rico says she never forgets. Maybe Cole accidentally, like, she wanted to ask him out and she just did something. And it was kind of something. I think the whole poisoning of Cole was probably something small. And it
Okay.
just happened by circumstance.
What does Eloise have against Lacey?
Lacey was
That is
rude to
just-
her.
Oh, she told her
was
to
very
stop
rude.
clicking her retainer.
Stop clicking.
That is annoying though.
It
That
really is.
The
annoying.
retainers.
That's really not that big of a deal.
gross.
Like, get over it, Eloise.
She never forgets. I think you need to watch your mouth.
Yeah.
She's coming after me
Your
next.
tires are slashed when you get out to your car.
Who did this? And then we look over.
Oh, well, it was Danny.
You got any predictions?
I'm gonna predict that Joe and Lacey are gonna have to. Sorry, my headphones are falling. They're gonna start out the next episode with a huge falling out type thing.
That's what I want to bounce off of that because I feel like Lacey doesn't have anyone now because even though her friends say they're going to be her friends no matter what, after they see the video, they're going to alienate her. Joe's not going to be her friend anymore.
Well, Danny will still go back to it.
Well,
yeah,
no.
but I don't think she'll go back to Danny because then it rubs in their face.
We
to
see
Joe
that.
and the
We
friends.
saw that on the previews that she's gonna throw Danny
Yeah.
under the bus just to save her own.
So I think
hide.
Joe's gonna have like a breakdown.
I
Ooh,
think
but I can't wait for her to kiss Tyler next episode.
All right, what's the cliffhanger for the season finale? Go. What do you think?
I think that the Joe and Lacey drama is not going to be finished, and they're going to leave it with hanging it, like, if they're not friends or not.
I think we're gonna find out who killed Regina.
You go, Jason. I asked the
I have
question.
no idea. We're gonna find out that Vikram's alive.
Yeah, I think either Vikram's gonna walk through the door at the end, or
Regina.
Karen's gonna die.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Karen's not gonna die.
No, Karen's-
You guys can continue to follow us
Watch it
on
when it
Twitter and
happens.
Instagram and tweet us your thoughts on the episode. Where can they find all of you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram, both at Heather Joy Smith.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lina Green or Facebook at Locust Flower.
And you can find me at Stephen Lemieux, StephenLemieux, or doing the Graceland Get Out Alive with Bear Grylls and Dexter After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. And check out my photography page at Facebook, SR Lemieux Photo. And also be sure to watch
Jesus.
Twisted After Show and tweet. I'm just keep talking.
You can follow me on
my
Twitter and Instagram at Jason Ikeler. And we will see you guys all in here next week.
I have a lot of stuff. Call me Socio.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.